Hello! This is another video for M.E.R.C.S 2nd edition, and in this video we'll be looking at the Texico faction. Now before we begin, the 1.9 cards, well, for Texico, was the best example of why MegaCon should have been giving them away for free or free for download instead of selling them. I got all of them apart from CCC, M.E.R.C.S, USCR, and I think that was it for 1.9. For Texico at least, there were so many errors, such as the demo for Texico having smoke grenades, no info on smoke, but allowing you to heal people. Yeah, I don't really get how that is able to, but you know, whatever. Also, the trap table wasn't in the 1.9 cards. They aren't in the the 2nd edition cards. They're in the rulebook. So we'll begin by going over. Oh, the 2nd edition cards are a lot better, obviously, than the 1.9 cards. Everything makes sense. Everything works the way it should do. So we'll begin with the corporate trait of Focus Fire as the camera focuses. If a Texico M.E.R.C. attacks a target previously damaged by a different Texico team member, the attack roll is increased by 1. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. I apologise. What that means is, if one team member attacks someone, then the second one will get a bit of a bonus. And then the one after that will get a bit of a bonus, and the one after that, and so on and so forth. So, the second corporate trait, traps bounding M.E.R.C.S must roll on the trap table. This does not affect Texico. You can only find this in the rulebook, which is a pain, but as we'll just zoom in the camera, that's the table. Now, what I believe you have to do is you have to put an equal number of non-trap tokens and trap tokens into a bag or a cup or something, and if a non-Texico M.E.R.C. bounds, they randomly grab a counter, and if it's a trap token, you roll on the trap table. If it's not a trap token, you don't roll on the trap table. I can see why that is, but it just seems like another complication which ain't needed. But each their own. But these are the traps. Roll of 1, no trap, so nothing happens. 2-3, stun trap. The target receives the stun status effect, which means they forfeit their activation. 4-7 toxin trap. Create a 1 card length template centered on the target that rolled the trap. All targets in the template receive the smoke and toxin status effect. Smoke means they're effectively harder to hit, and they have better reaction, which is downside, but they receive 1 damage, which ain't bad. 8-9 frag trap. Create 1 card length template from the target that rolled the trap. All targets in the template receive 1 strength 3 attack. That's not bad. It also causes arm failure. The only thing that will not take damage is the behemoth, but still roll for armor failure. And 10 is La Cucaracha. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it. Create a 1 card length template centered on the target that rolled this trap. The target rolled that trap receives 1 strength 4 attack that does 2 damage. So that could kill some factions off. All targets in the template receive the toxin status effect, so effectively you are killing most targets. Disarming a Texico trap on the side. Move camera. Zoom out. If a Texico trap can be disarmed, details are included in the trap description in the table. Any M.E.R.C. in base range of the M.E.R.C. being affected, including the M.E.R.C. trap, may attempt to disarm if making an interact roll. That's not bad, mainly for people like spies or engineers. That'd be useful. Can't see it being useful for many others, but I suppose it depends on the faction and the team member, what their interact stat is. But that's pretty much it for the corporate traits. So we'll get on to the different characters. So starting with the leader. Initiative modifier of 0, reaction of 4, courage of 5, movement of 2, blood of 3, armour of 2, armour of failure of 5, interact of 5. So stats, not that impressive, but survivable. So kit, single shot, you can use it at short, medium or long range. One attack needing forced hit, strength 2, aim. So he can wait a turn if he uses aim, and then it's -2 FN, so he needs 2 hits rather than 4s. And then he's got the dog, which is a separate model. The dog can attack in base or short range. It's got reaction of 5, courage of 6, movement of 2, blood of 2, armour of 1, armor failure of 3. Yes, the dog can have its armour failed, and it can't repair its own armour. That kind of makes sense, but why would you have it fail its armour? That just means it's gonna sit there like a little brick. But anyway, it's got 1 attack, auto hitting, well, not auto hitting because it's a melee attack, strength of 1, melee 1, penetrate, which means +1 to your dice rolls when you're rolling for armor failure. So personal abilities, leadership, I'll just move the camera a bit because it's a bit shiny over here. All members of this team within 1 card length, including this M.E.R.C., increase their dice rolls by 1. And Sickum, if the dog is in short range of this M.E.R.C., then the dog's attacks cannot fail. That's a bit better than before, because the Sickum just meant you could attack at short range. This just means you can auto hit effectively. It's also a bit worse because the dog is a separate model. The main thing for the leader is leadership. Movement 2, armor 2. That's not bad. That's always helpful. And he's got a single shot rifle, which is also helpful. There's nothing wrong with him. He just does what he does. I'm just trying to say he's average at best. So coming on to the next one, the Eagle. Focus there. Initiative modifier of 2, reaction of 5, courage of 5, movement of 3, 3 blood, 1 armour, 5 armour failure, and 6 repair. 6 interact. Sorry, not repair. It's got semi-auto. That's short, medium, and long range. 2 attacks needing 6s, strength 2, attack and move. So it's -1 movement and +2 FN, so we need 8s if you want to move and shoot with this weapon. Jump jets, flight, load. The jump jet just means he can move vertically 2 card lengths for 1 MP. You can also move normally when you're that high up. I'll put in the description down below about what that means, because I've actually done a video on flight for this faction. I've made a stand sort of thing, and load just means you've got to wait your turn to use it. So his personal abilities: light on your feet, If this merc has at least one movement point, he can turn 360 degrees without using movement points. That wasn't there before, but that's really good. That just means, especially when you're flying, you can turn around and just go wherever you want, effectively. I mean, you're always going to have one movement point left with this model anyway, because even if your armor's broke, that only decreases your movement by 2 rather than 1. And tuck and roll, this merc does not have to stop at elevation change if descending, and takes no blood from falling. This just means if your movement takes you, it basically means you can jump off buildings and you take no damage from falling, which means at the start of the next activation, if you're still in the air, you come straight down and you take no damage. So force movement really won't affect this guy unless he's been pushed onto a wall, which means it will hurt, but apart from that. So yeah, the Eagle I would highly recommend for taking most of the time. So coming on to the heavy. Focus there. Initiative modifier of 2. Courage of 4. Sorry, reaction of 4, courage of 6, movement of 1, blood of 3, armour of 3, arm failure of 6, repair interact, getting used to saying that, of 7, which kind of is normal standard for heavies. He's got a full auto, which is 3 attacks, needing 8s, strength of 3, short, medium, and long range. Usually it's kind of short, medium, long range actually. Attack and move, set and rip. Because of the personal ability of this, you can move and shoot with this weapon, but you'd need 10s before any modifiers or penalties, but you can still move. Set and rip means if you wait a turn before firing, the turn after you set, you are -1 FN, so you need 7s, but you can't move. That's including in this case for any set and rip. Snap and cover. Has also got a machete, which is base range, 1 attack, rolling on reaction because it's a melee attack, strength of 1, melee 0, so you don't get any melee bonus. It's just a sword. So personal abilities. Sure-footed, this merc does not suffer the move penalty associated with attack and move. This is applied. So it gets to move as 1, it still gets to shoot. Brick house, team members are considered to be in strong cover if the attack draws line of sight through this merc. That's really good, because even if you're a little bit behind this guy, your opponent is +3 to hit him rather than probably +1, so that's always helpful. So the heavy, the machete is no longer a template weapon, but the move and shoot thing, that might be helpful. The heavy's always been a bit of a risk, I find, for Texico, but it is always good. So the Jaguar, sorry. Initiative modifier 1, reaction of 5, courage of 5, movement of 2, 4 blood, 2 armour, 6 arm failure, and 6 interact. It's got a semi-auto, same as the Eagles. It's also got a Makahuchi. It's just basically a giant club. Base because it's a melee weapon, 1 attack, strength of 1, melee force 1. That just means you get +1 to your dice roll when you're in melee, and force 1 means it pushes the target back 1 card length, which can be really, really helpful. Personal abilities: fighter. This merc may perform a melee attack after a move at no penalty and increases weapon attack roll by 2. This means with the melee you're basically increasing the roll by 3, which is really good. Tough as they come, this merc has 1 additional blood. This is applied. His club used to be strength 2, it's now strength 1, but because of how melee works now, it's still pretty good. You can get him in a good position to hit people a high strength and push them maybe off a building or into a wall to cause extra damage. The Jaguar, really good model to take. I usually take him. Other players that I've played against don't usually, but you know, up to them. So coming on to the Jaguar. Hang on. Why did the Jaguar say sniper on it? Well, nope, no one knows. No, it's the sniper. Yeah, okay, just, I'm sorry. Initiative modifier of 1, courage of 5, reaction of 5 even, and courage of 5, movement of 3, blood of 3, armor 1, armor failure of 5, repair, interact of 6. It's got a single shot, which is medium or long range, 1 attack needing 4, strength of 2, aim, and pistol, base and short range, 1 attack needing 4s. Oh, there's no targeting reticule on there. Bit of a misprint, but never mind. Strength of 1, attack and move, aim. Most pistols haven't got attack and aim, even though in the book there is a table. I do know words. There is a table that shows that pistols are +1 FN when you move and shoot with them. And in this case, yeah, it's just +1 to your dice roll. Personal ability, sleight of hand. This M.E.R.C.S suffers no load penalty. He does not have to wait 1 round between attacks. This is applied, which is shown on a single shot weapon. Height makes right. If this M.E.R.C attacks from elevation position, he attacks his weapon strength by 1. So strength 3 with no load penalty, which is pretty good. The sniper slightly has got better with better movement, move and shoot on the pistol, which is something I suppose. But he used to be able to move and shoot with his rifle, as did a lot of people with single shot weapons, but that's kind of been changed. It's a shame, but he's always been great. They've taken off the load penalty, which is always good as well. So yeah, sniper's pretty good. Not really much different from before. The infamous demo. Oh boy. But he is good now. Initiative modifier of 1, reaction of 4, courage of 6, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armor, 6 armor failure, and 5 interact. So he's got a shotgun, which is 3 attacks, strength of 6, sorry, FN of 6, strength of 2, base and short range, attack and move and load. That's the short range thing is just basically because it's the BBB. Well, it looks like it's just on one target. It used to be the small T template, but it's a very short range weapon. Most shotguns now are 3 dice rather than doing a lot more, doing 2 blood. So that's interesting. You could kill someone off in 1 turn. I suppose that makes sense because it's effectively got a sawn off shotgun. Load means you have to wait a turn, like I said before, and attack and move is -1 movement +2 FN. So attack and move, yep, that's not changed. And it's also got smoke grenades. It's got 3 of them. Base range, throw 1, smoke 2, template. So throw 1. It's only got a range of 1. Most grenades have got a range of 2, but he's going to have to stick close by to his team. Smoke means the opponents are +2 FN to actually hit you, and you get +2 reaction with whoever's in smoke. It lasts for 2 turns. It's pretty good. Nothing wrong with smoke. The demo made better and worse because you're not doing 2 blood automatically, and it's slightly shorter range. It's no longer a template, but you have the chance of doing 3 damage, which could kill most targets off, and you're doing up to 3 armed failure checks, which really powerful. Coming on to the Marshal. Oh, you are going to like this. For that reason alone. Yeah. Initiative modifier of 1, reaction of 5, courage of 3, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 4 arm failure and 6 interact. So stats aren't that bad actually. He's got heavy pistols, which effectively have all the range you want. 2 attacks needing 4, strength of 2, attack and move, skilled sharpshooter. What that all means is you -1 movement, +2 FN, attack and move. He can shoot at 2 different targets. You roll 1 attack on 1 target, 1 attack on another target, or 2 attacks on 1 target. And at long range is +2 to hit. So if he moves and at long range it's +4, so we need 8s, which is kind of better than 9s with before. He's also got his hat. That gives him cover, which means this hat decreases the no cover penalty to 0. This does not give him weak cover. This just means if he's in the open, your opponent doesn't get a bonus to hit him. Bounty before the skirmish. This merc may select a target. This merc may select a target. If the target is killed, all his team members increase their attack rolls by 1 as long as this merc is still alive. It's kind of like an extra leadership ability, but you have to kill someone to get it, and he has to remain alive. It's pretty good, kind of same as before. From Hellsop 5, this merc gains 1 attack immediately after being killed, so you effectively get 1 pistol shot off. The Marshal's always been a firm favourite of mine, I'm sure like a lot of people. Made slightly better now, as far as I'm concerned, with the hat thing. Yeah, I don't know why they included that, but you know, why not? Why not? Coming on to the 3 new guys, starting with Ranger. Initiative modifier 1, reaction of 6, courage of 4, 3 movement, 3 blood, 1 armour, 5 arm failure, 6 interact. He's got a carbine, which is base, short, medium range, so it's 2 card length and you can shoot in melee. 2 attacks needing 5, strength 2, attack and move, which is just +1 FN, so if he moves he needs 6s. He's also got 1 flashbang, which is base, short range. Act and move, which means he can move and still throw the grenade. Throw 1, stun 2 template, and the template is that range. Stun 2 means a target can't activate for 2 rounds, which is very severe. There's a faction that stuns a lot, which we'll come on to in another video. So personal abilities, lucky. This merc may negate 1 attack success against herself per skirmish. So once per game, if an attack hits this model, you get to nullify it, stop it from happening. Quick, this merc is not involved with simultaneous actions. She always acts first in situations with mercs of the same initiative and reaction. So this just means she goes first unless you're against another faction that's got quick, so you'd still have to roll initiative in that case. There is something I've missed, and that is the demo. I've missed his personal abilities. He has quick, same as the Ranger, so you'd have to roll initiative for both of them. If you had them both. Hair trigger, after taking 2 or more blood this round, if this merc survives he gains 1 attack immediately. If you're against a melee faction, you could blast someone to pieces with your shotgun. So that's always good. The demo used to have the demo ability, but now that's gone, so yeah, you had to replace it with something, and that's a pretty good personal ability to have replaced. So coming on to the engineer. Initiative modifier of 0, reaction of 5, courage of 7, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 4 arm failure and 5 interact. He's got a carbine, same as the ranger, same thing. He's also got a smoke grenade, same as the demo, so nothing different. Personal abilities, be careful, very careful, if this merc is in the skirmish, he adds 1 trap token to the trap supply, and enemies in long range increase their trap roll by 2. So this means if you're against a faction that loves to bound, take him. Usually against melee factions such as Sadafu or possibly Kemvar that likes to bound into cover, take this guy and this will help you a lot. So they shot build, this merc gains 1 additional attack immediately if in short range of a member of his team being killed. So if someone within 1 card length dies, that's on the same side as him, he gets to make 1 attack with his carbine, which ain't bad. So coming on to the last new guy, the Breacher. Initiative modifier of 0, reaction of 5, courage of 5, 3 movement, 3 blood, 1 armour, 6 arm failure, 7 interact. He's got machine pistol, which is base and short range, 2 attacks needing 5, strength of 1, attack and move, which is just +1 FN, so we need 6s. Dynamite, she's got 3 of them, base and short range, so it's only got 1 card length on it. 1 attack, strength of 2, and the template is quite large. It's also got Act 1 on it. You can use these to breach. If the breach act, excuse me. Act 1, if the breach action is successful, which effectively if you've got enough cover to do it, you can. This merc gains an additional activation at initiative 1. Ignore the effects of if this merc first initiative activation was on a 1. So unless he activated 1, he can activate again. And he can also breach with dynamite, which just effectively just makes a base length hole in walls so people can move through. So personal abilities, Doorman, all other members of this merc's team in short range may increase or decrease their initiative by 1 when this merc uses breach. As far as I can see, this would happen in the turn after he uses breach, because if he uses breach then you've already rolled for initiative. So it's also got tactician. This merc rolls 2 dice for initiative, he keeps 1 and may assign the other to another team member, replacing their initiative. You do that before adding or decreasing initiative modifiers. It's best if you roll for the breacher first and then add use the other dice on someone else and then roll as normal. So yeah, that's the Texico faction. A fairly mobile faction. These can stop people moving in their tracks. They've just been made better. One of my favourite factions from first edition, and they've just been made better. The Jaguar I really like. I've always liked Eagle. Eagle's just great. Ranger and Engineer I'm intrigued about, and the demo would make a good bodyguard for the heavy, I would find, but that's just me. Or you could use Or you could use the leader, I suppose. But again, that's just me. The only thing Texaco could have had was someone with a med kit or a proper medic even. This, if they needed anything, it was a medic or a monkey wrench. But again, that's just me. So that's it for this faction, and we'll come on to another one.